we can get some folks to come back. Yeah, totally bummed out. Let's see, it's going to take me a minute to get the iPad up and going again. So I swear my shirt dried and shrunk while I was gone.
Oh, I hear you.
Let's see, here we go. Okay. Okie doke. And it's going to take a minute for me to get, I don't know what it's doing right this second. Okay. So, because I can't, there we go. Now I can see you. Okay. All right. So you put clips on it. Okay. Okay. I got to run out and get some clips, you guys. I'm sorry. Because I don't have them in here. So I'll be right back. I got to go find some clips.
Say hi, Kelly.
Hi.
Kelly's in the house. We're back and running. That's right, Vanda. So, what'd she say she had to do?
She had to go get clips.
She'd go get clips. I don't know if you really need these. I just do it just to keep my seams together. And it's not all the time either. So
Okay.
these aren't dire, these clips. So
I found some clips. Let me see if I can get them.
If you don't have them, it's not necessary. But, you know, it helps keep your seams together, especially up here at the top.
And I don't have scissors in here either.
And we won't be using any sinew. And this is basically a variation of double fan fold. So it's a fun fold to do.
Yeah, I've never done it, so I'm curious to try it out. Let's see here. I think all these clips are the same size, they're just different colors. So let's see.
Yeah, I was telling them stuff. The clips aren't really necessary. I just do it just to keep my seams together.
Oh, sure.
My seam at the top was wanting to kind of like fold in on itself a little bit, so I just added one clip, or added one where the two come together. I usually add one there, and then I added one up by the tag. So then I went ahead and just added two more. It's not really necessary, but
okay.
For the people watching, you know what I mean.
For sure. I've not done this fold before, so I want to do it how you're doing it and see if I can do it like how you do it.
Gotcha.
So I've got the clips, and so I just don't have everything in here because I tie-dye out in a different room, but it's scorching hot, so I don't know what you would call it, but I'm like at half function in here. So it's, by the time summer's over, I'll have just about everything moved in here and just in time to move it all back out there.
I hear you.
So you go all the way down with your clips or what?
I just put 4 on.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna
put down the shirt.
I'm just gonna put them all the way down because I'm doing it. So why not?
Yeah.
Okay. So I got all my clips on. Okay, now what's the next step?
You know how we always go like 2 inches below the armpit?
Yeah.
Put a dot. We'll do that today too. So put a dot, since and you and I are doing the exact same shirt, so that's why I can tell you just go down 2 inches and put your dot, and that way you're not completely in the center of the shirt, just slightly above center. So
okay.
And
so
then
one thing I just want to explain really quick is I'm going to twist my shirt because the way Scott stands at his table is different from how I'm standing at my table. So when you see Scott on his screen, you know, you can see where his hand is and his pin. In order for me to be in that same position, I have got to twist my project and have it in front of me with the sleeve side closest to me.
Right. Right.
Okay. So
Okay. You have your eye.
come down come down 2 inches from the underarm. Okay.
Put a dot, and then draw your arc, and keep it 3 inches from the where you put the clips.
Okay. So I'm gonna watch you do it.
Okay.
We're on a delay.
Okay. So
I have to see you do it, and then I can then copy it.
okay. So I'll just actually use my ruler, and I'll come down. Let's say 3.5 inches. Okay. We'll put another dot. So I'm going to draw my arc. On that.
Okay, so all I saw you do was use your ruler and make a
Went
mark
straight up.
straight across.
Yeah.
And how far did you measure? How
Three
far
and a
from the center?
from the clips.
How, say it, well, I'm sorry, it broke up.
3.5 inches from those clips.
3.5 inches from those clips. So,
Yeah.
okay, so
That's
3.5 inches is right. Mine looks very far back in comparison to yours. Let me see here. Which direction are you putting your ruler? I mean, 3.5 inches puts mine dead center. I mean, the distance from my clips to my mark that I just
sorry. I'm sorry. 2 inches.
Okay, 2 inches.
Yeah.
So I'm going to use a different colored pen as to not to confuse myself. So 2 inches or 2.5? What'd you say?
It doesn't matter. 2.5, 2 inches. It's
No,
not.
well, it doesn't matter. I'm trying to make it exactly like yours.
Okay, do 2 inches from the end.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to go off of that red line. So I'm going to hold down my finger on that spot that we made. I'm going to bring my my string that I've tied around my washable marker, hold it down, and I'm just going to make an arc.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Fun.
That looks much more similar to yours than what I thought it was going to do. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Now, here comes the fun part. My favorite part.
Now, what we're going to do is draw a triangle inside that arc. So instead of folding on the arc, we're going to fold on the triangle.
Okay.
So your center point at the very top, you're going to start there and draw your arc all the way down to the tip of the blue line. So it'll be that 45-degree angle up. You understand?
I think I'm gonna have to fix because wherever I made my marks wasn't straight. So I think what I'm gonna have to do is kind of just draw a line so I can there. So I didn't do a good job of making my little dots. They were off. Okay. So I'm gonna watch you make a triangle. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right.
So I went center of my arc and went down to the very tip of the blue line towards the left hand side. Okay.
Yep. Okay.
All right. So now we're going to use your ruler. It's going to be hard to explain. If you can watch what
I'm going to watch you once you do yours.
Okay.
I'm going to do mine.
So I lay my ruler on my shirt line, where I drew my little dot. So I'm going to come over here and on my arc draw a little black line. Draw a little line on the arc itself. So if you can see that,
Yeah.
see that line, how I did that?
Yeah, like from the side, like
Yeah,
the underarm side, you're just gonna make like
yeah,
a straight line up from that.
on the arc itself. Yep.
Yeah, and that's gonna be your other triangle.
That's going to be your other triangle. Yeah.
I got it. I got it. All
Okay.
right. Even when you explained it, I understood it. Okay.
That's good, because I'm not very good at
No,
explaining.
I think I got it. Now I
And then
haven't
take
seen
that.
yours yet. I don't know why. But I think we get punished like when we have technical difficulties. It instead of like a 20-second delay, it's like a minute delay. So
Right.
I'm just now seeing your second line. Okay.
So then you cross into that other line and take it all the way down. So now you have basically a big triangle. All right.
Yep.
And then
Okay.
at the tip of the triangle, at the very top, come down. Let's say, let me measure it for you. Come down 3/4 of an inch and draw a line across both lines. So give it just a second and you'll see what I did.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my other colored pen to make the mark. I'm trying to make it also visually, appealing for everybody. So okay, so from that point, 3/4. Okay, so that's gonna be right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. And then I'll go ahead and draw a little line straight across that.
How big does it need to be? An inch, two
It
inches,
doesn't
five
have
inches?
just like a little bit hanging over each side. It doesn't really matter because that's where we're going to make our bend. That's where we're going to start making our turn.
Okay, so my brain is like super technical. If you did an inch, I want to make an inch,
I did 3/4 of an inch.
Okay, so you did a 3/4 of an inch wide.
Just down from the tip.
Yeah, no, I'm down from the tip 3/4 of an inch. I'm
Okay.
saying, how wide of that line did you make?
Doesn't matter. Just go across the. Just go across
So
the.
just from point to point.
Yeah, if you can see, I don't know if you
I
can
mean,
see.
I can see it, and it looks like it's over each line like a centimeter or something.
Like a half, not half inch.
That, does it matter? I mean,
No, it doesn't. That's just where we're going to start making our bend.
okay.
Because we're going to pleat up this. We're going to pleat up these lines, and then we're going to start making our bend at that horizontal line right there. And everything will start making sense when we start.
Okay. All right. I think mine looks pretty close to yours.
Okay.
I mean, because this is like nobody's seen this before, so I'm trying to.
No one's seen it. I mean,
I'm
like
trying
I
to.
told them, when you were away, I told them that I've shown you and Brent.
Did you ever really decide on a name for it?
No,
Hi, Kelly.
we're still.
Hi.
We're still trying to decide on a name. I should have wrote his name down. I forget who said it, but someone called it. Said I should name it the Descent because it kind of looks like you're descending down inside some psychedelic hallway, and it does. I mean, because down in the bottom, it looks like it's water falling down inside itself.
Well, I think for me, when I pleat it, I'll have an idea of like what the pleating process is. That helps name things, and then really the end result when you see it all done, then it really helps finalize the name. To
Right.
me, I see like King Tut's pyramid, Egypt type
Like
stuff.
muscles here, I can see like muscles. It almost looks like.
It was Jeff
Oh.
from Lazy Lightning is his name on here.
Oh, okay.
That's who said it.
All right.
Now, so yeah, I mean, ultimately, when both of our shirts are done, I think we should have like a naming contest. Now, how do I pleat this thing? What am I doing?
So at the bottom, so with us being left-handed, I start at the bottom line, or if you're standing where how we are, the one on the left, and just start pleating up that line. My pleat, my first pleat is half of an inch, because the bigger the pleat, you're going to have to draw this line. You're going to have to start making your bend earlier.
Okay, so we're pleating your black line, which on my shirt is a green line.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yep. And then
how tall are you making those pleats?
my pleat is about a half of an inch.
All right.
It's exactly a half an inch. Okay.
Let me see if I can sit down and do this one. Okay. So when I pleat, you guys, I turn my work in front of me. So I like to have the line straight in front of me when I'm pleating. Yep. So I've turned my work, and now we're going to get after it. Okay. So the first pleat you said is about a half inch.
Half an inch. And we're going to make every pleat that half an inch from here on out. All right. And we're going to do just like we do a side double fan fold, how we keep the line straight. So the straighter you can keep it, the better. So make every line or every pleat a half an inch all the way up that line. Okay. And it's easier said than done. So sometimes and make your pleat go all the way across the shirt. Okay.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'll just start in the middle of the shirt, and that kind of helps me keep my line straight. Or I start my pleat in the middle of that first pleat, you know what I mean? And then push it up.
Oh man, I hate pleating so much.
Oh, I love it.
Me too.
I love it.
It is literally like the worst.
But just try your best to keep that line straight, you know?
Yeah, and I can already feel under the third pleat, like the shirt is not, it detached from itself. You know what I mean? Like I could feel a wrinkle inside that pleat.
The fold isn't the easiest fold. I mean, it's actually easier to fold on an arc, but once you do it a time or two, it's actually kind of easy. but
yeah, sure it is.
Now you can kind of start just pleating on the line. Once you get up there a little ways, you can start pleating on your line, and that'll help keep your line straight. And take your pleat all the way across the shirt.
Yeah, I'm trying.
Like all the way across the shirt. Too.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying.
Actually,
one pleat at a time, all the way.
Pleat at a time.
So wait a minute. I think now I could be totally way out of line on this. This is your design, but there's something to be said for that. You know, the first mark that we make in the underarm, that probably should be a starting point for the first pleat. If I'm going to do this like from, you know what I mean? Like angle wise, because I'm already running into trouble and my pleats are not matching to like that center point. Does that not matter?
I don't think that's going to matter, to be honest.
Okay.
So do your first pleat, make it about a half an inch. Just keep that line straight. You know, as long as you keep your line straight, you should be all right. Because actually, I'm on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the sixth pleat, and I'm just now getting to the armpit.
Okay.
You know.
I'm going to use clips. I am not a clip user. It's not my thing, but I feel like in order to do what you're doing, I'm going to have to use clips.
Okay.
Because I can't make a straight pleat from start to finish. Me, Stephanie, cannot, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Because I'm not precise. Pleating is not my jam. You want to ask me about dye colors and what they're going to split and how to make them work, and I can hook you up with information on that. But when it comes to pleating, not my thing. Because I don't enjoy it at all.
Just an
So, and Kelly, you agree? Like, maybe, you know, I don't know. I'm sure there are some ladies out there that just really thrive off it as well. But I think men are just hardwired to like the mathematical science behind it. Not me. And these clips are too small, darn it. I wish they were bigger. Okay. All right. It's going to take me so much longer than you. I'm already falling behind.
That's okay. I'll wait for you.
No, I mean, I'm just saying. Like,
really,
I'm on my third pleat going like, oh man, really? Why are we doing this? Okay, but I can do it. Perseverance, you know, you just gotta do it. And I've watched Stephen J with his clip work, and oops, he's just like these things are terribly tight. They're too small. I hate them. How do you make them open bigger? I don't think I have enough hand strength.
I don't know. I use these big black ones like you see
Yeah, these are not gonna work. So okay, well the whole idea of having the clips. Hold on, I think I bought a whole pack of them. Let me see if they have bigger ones in the pack. I'll be right back.
So is anybody saying anything, Kelly?
No. Journalist Hive said they pleat better when they're standing.
Oh. Who does? Oh, yeah. Yeah, sorry, man. This is kind of a funky fold. I mean, it's not I guess it's not the easiest fold to do. But, you know, I mean, I can't remember if I took my pleats all the way down. I think I'm.
You don't know how to make your own shirt?
Well, I don't think I did. I didn't. I don't think I did. I think I just kind of took it to there and then started my shirt. This is, are you there, Steph?
I just walked back into the room. So actually, no. Like, this whole entire pack that I got, they're super cute colored, but the other part of the pack is like even smaller. So they're definitely not going to work. So I went and found my black ones, and I don't know. I think it's important to know the size. I think these are 1-inch clips, you guys. So if you're going to order clips, do not get anything smaller than 1-inch clips. The ones that I'm working with that are so super cute, they say they're also 1-inch, but I call no way on that one. How did I just measure them and they both are 1-inch? Like, what did I just do?
Yeah.
No, okay, the black one that's actually going to work really well is 1 1/4 inch. And then the littler ones, which they're okay, they're good for what I started out with. But if you want to get into like doing the big guy type pleating, you want at least 1 1/4 inch or larger. Okay, you asked me if I'm back. What's up?
No, I'm just curious if you were back.
Oh, I thought maybe you know, like some.
Is your shirt dry or something or what?
No, I spun it out less. I don't pleat from start to finish from one line to the next like you do. I don't do that. I've never done that. Don't know how to do that. Meaning I make my pleats, I work on the line I'm working with, and then I move on. So for me to try to make a continuous pleat from start to finish.
Well, no, it looks like you're doing it fine right there.
Well, not without.
Yeah, you're doing.
Not without having a clip to help me.
No, you don't need that clip.
Okay, watch.
You got it.
No, watch me. I'll completely leave it. I've never done it like that, and so my line is already getting off. Look, I'm sound like I'm just like whining and complaining, but I'm telling you, like legit, I usually focus on I'm already losing the pleats down here at the bottom. So yeah, I think there's a good chance my shirt is extremely drier than yours because I use a Panda spin dryer.
You're going right there. You're doing a perfect job. Keep
Thank you.
doing the exact same thing you're doing right there.
I appreciate the moral support of it.
You're about right where I am. Fifth or sixth pleat, you're hitting your armpit. So you're right with me. And then just fold up to that first little dash that you made.
Okay.
I'm a little bit past it, but it's going to be okay. If you fall a little bit forward before it, that's fine too, because what is the little emblems are where you start making your turn. So looks like you're about there to that first little dash that you made.
See, I already forgot that I needed to pleat
You don't
all the way to the sleeve, all the way.
have to go.
Ooh, I hate. Can somebody come over and pleat this for me, please? Okay. All right. So once we get to the triangle that we drew on, this I have a feeling is where things are going to start getting pretty difficult. Okay.
Yeah. All right. So if you land before it's actually a little better. If you land right on it, that's fine. I'm actually just a little bit past it, so I might not have as many emblems on this, but it'll be okay.
I
So
think I landed kind of like perfect.
So you're at
That could be something to consider next time you make one. Maybe you should start at that point and work your way out.
Work my way down. Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that is perfect. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So
Just
now
saying. You know what I mean?
Right? You're at your line.
Okay, if you say so. Yeah.
I mean, you're at that little point though, right?
No, I'm there.
Okay, so now what you want to do is basically hold your finger on that line and just push it, and you'll see how it kind of dorsal fins up.
I'm gonna watch you do it. I'm gonna watch you do it, and then I'm gonna try to copy.
So hold your hand at the end of the pleat here, and then one finger on your line.
Wow, we're gonna twist the whole thing.
Yes. So
oh my god! Look, somebody said Scott's taking us to Tiedye church, pleat church. Yeah, he's taking us there, you guys. Okay. We're gonna take this whole thing and flip it. Holy.
Yeah. Now I have one dorsal fin, kind of little dorsal.
Good God. Okay.
Do you see it? Are you getting it?
Yeah, I mean, I'm yeah.
Okay, so it's going to stick up higher than the other pleats. You want it to stick up a little higher than the other pleats.
Okay.
You got it? Looks like you're good.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm doing it. We'll see. Okay. So how far do I twist that? That just to right there? What we're going to do
is we're going to line this line up with the other line. So keep turning it and making these little fins. I usually get about 3 fins until the line that I pleated lines up with the next line, and then I'll go pleat my way down it. It's really not as hard as I mean, so just kind of hold it, make these little dorsal, I call them like little dorsal fin type things. Just spin it until that line is level with in line with the other line. So now I have.
But I mean, what other line are you like in line with what other line? I'm sorry, you guys. My brain's not. It's not wrapping or like which. Oh, okay. So we're gonna see. Well, see now, like my other triangle is like already a pleat. So I've done something wrong.
Take those clips off.
Well, I mean, I'm saying I've done something wrong because my my green line, I guess, is already like it's already its own pleat. Okay, let's see. So okay. So now
See the line?
I only have one dorsal fin.
No,
Like,
see that you only have one.
yeah.
Okay, well, bring it back down to where it was before, like originally. Okay, now hold, and I'll do it again too. I'll start down here.
Look, I can already tell all of you that I am way overcomplicating things just because I've never done one before. It's like the first time I made the glitch. I'm like, what?
Okay, so
Now that I've made a
watch,
couple of them, I'm like, oh,
just
it's like
just watch me. We have a delay, but just watch,
no
and
big
it
deal.
makes sense to you. Okay, so I'm going to hold my finger on the line that we made, and I'm going to hold at the end of the shirt, back where the the end of the pleats are, and I'm going to just kind of push it, and it's going to make that shirt raise up and make a pleat taller than the other pleats.
Right.
So it almost looks like a dorsal fin that's sticking up taller than the other pleats.
And I understand the twist, but what I'm saying to you, all of my pleats right now are a 1/2 inch tall, and
Right.
that upper triangle is already like it's already its own pleat. You know what I mean? Like yours. Well, I mean, just look at you don't even see my green line. It's already made it. So maybe I'm coming too close into that triangle. Like I need to knock down that last pleat and then twist it. That's why I'm saying, like, to make this universally easy, we have to figure out a better way. Like
Well,
you stop at 1 inch or 1.5 inch before you make your twist, or you got to start at that point. You see what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
know. I mean, I just kind of.
Yeah. Well, you just kind of came up with it, so easy for
I mean,
you because you kind of already have made them
I
for.
hold my hand on those. I pinch the line that I'm pleating up. I pinch that and hold it tight, and then actually hold my finger down on the shirt itself and push it, and it causes a pleat. It forms a pleat.
Yeah,
And
I get that. I
okay.
understand why you're calling it the flounder. I get it. Okay. So what I'm trying to say is when I make that twist, if I pleat all the way up to my triangle point, it puts that pleat already in. And so let's see. Christina says Steph needs to stop at the crossbar before she tries to fold it over to create the dorsal fins.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So right. So I need to stop now, and then let's see if I can go one more.
Pinch your line and hold. Pinch your line and hold
Yeah.
the
Because if I
tip
do
of your
one
finger
more, it puts me all
itself.
the way. Okay. All right. So hold it, twist it. Okay. Let's see here. I got my dorsal fins. And the whole goal is to what? Twist it to that other
Twist it
black
to where
line.
the lines are in
Okay,
line.
I gotta start over. When I twisted it, it messed everything up. Okay. All right. So I've got it. I've pinched it. Now I'm twisting it. I'm not twisting it. I'm saying I'm twisting it, and I'm just sitting here holding it. Okay. Oh, to that straight line that we drew on. Is that
Yes. So, think of the arc. How we just follow the arc.
okay?
Following.
I'm
We're just
I'm gonna
following.
follow that line. Okay. Okay. Well, you didn't say that.
I can't explain anything. I told you that. I suck at explaining stuff. That's why you have to just kind of watch. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I
I know
am
we're in a
watching.
delay. I know we're in a delay, and I'm off. Let me bring my shirt down center.
So
It's
that's
kind of
okay.
it's kind of
So
a funky
here, you
fold.
guys, I'm gonna back it up for all of you that are also really effing confused right now. So we're pleating up. Remember we drew that red line and it was arbitrary. I'm like, why are we drawing this line on? Does it need to be out? So he's like, no, it doesn't matter. We're pleating to that line, this red line.
Yeah.
We'll stop at that line and we're gonna make our twist.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to pleat that line. So I have to twist my work in front of me.
Yep. And you're going to make and keep a hold, like pinch your line that you pleated and hold down on with your finger and twist the shirt around, and it makes like a tall pleat.
Yep.
Just pull that pleat in and keep twisting it until both lines are kind of lined up.
I completely understand now.
Okay, gotcha. Now, here's the thing. The farther...
And then these are what he's calling the dorsal fins, you guys. These little twists of fabric, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and then I have to twist my work again because I got to keep twisting, and I'm probably going to get 3 on this one because I need to now keep that green line straight with this line again.
That's right.
Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Okay. Thanks for explaining that, Scott.
Well, you know, I mean, it's double fan for
I'm just messing with you.
But okay, here's the thing: if you keep your you know how we kept it like 2 inches from the end. If you make it 3 inches from the end, that means you're going to have more little emblems, little dorsal fins. Yeah, these dorsal fins are what's going to cause like the emblems in the middle. So the more emblems, the little dorsal fins you have, the more
they look like triangles. I have one of these shirts, and I wear it all the time, and it kind of looks like, well, the one that I have, and I don't know if 2 are alike, but the center almost looks like 2 Egyptian pyramids, like mirrored, like on one is up and one is down. It's like super cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
If anything's going to be called alien or otherworldly, to me, this shirt really kind of screams it. Okay. All right. So now I've made that twist, and I'm trying to keep those. What the hell are you calling them?
Those little dorsal fins. Those little fins.
Dorsal fins.
Yeah, that's what they kind of look like. They look like little fish fins, you know.
I'm trying.
Or like a little shark dorsal fin.
I think maybe had I made that red line a little bit longer, I think I'd be having an easier time. Like I'm losing it here in the center.
Yeah,
see, like you guys, like like when we're doing like the fan folds, the double fan folds, how when you get down to the center point, the pleats just like vanish into nothing. Like it's kind of going backwards on itself, and now I'm having a hard time. They're disappearing on themselves, and so I think if that's happening to you, I think that's okay, is what I'm trying to say. Like in the underarm, because it's going backwards. They're kind of falling in on themselves.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I got to try to get this. The main thing, you guys, is to now get that next pleat. It doesn't matter what's going on.
Right.
You need that. Mine is a green line. Scott chose black, which is almost virtually impossible to see. So you want your green line, or whatever color you made yours, to now be straight again.
That's right.
So whatever you got to do to make that bend and twist happen, and then get your pleats going again.
That's right. And the more of these little dorsal fins you have, I think the better. You know what I mean? It makes it look pretty cool. Now, we might have went a little too close to the edge, so the next time we know that we can go maybe 2.5 to 3 inches away. And
you are gonna make me start saying cuss words.
Why did I cuss?
No, I'm saying like, oh well, maybe we, it's the first time showing it, and we probably should have made it a little easier by, making that line a little bit bigger. But
I mean.
No, hey, if you can master it the hardest way first, then the easier way will be even better next time.
So, are you working your way down the line now?
I'm trying.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, so Lynette just pointed out, and I agree. Your guys, it looks different. Your guys' look different.
Well, because Scott he's going at it from a different angle.
Okay, that might be what it is.
I mean, he pleats off his table, the way the camera and everything is set up. And Scott just pleats differently than I do. I mean, it just is what it is. But I agree. Like, I have only like a little nub over here. I don't know, Scott. I'm just gonna start over. Okay.
Like I said, it's not the easiest fold for real. I mean, a double fan fold is actually pretty easy, but making it a triangle instead of a circle, that's another story. You know?
So I agree with you, Lynette. Like, I don't know why Scott has like a perfect V. I mean, if you watch, I'm making I'm doing the 1/2 inch pleat, just like he says to do. So I'm doing it 1/2 inch. Here we go, 1/2 inch. Actually, the pleats that I just had are almost falling right back into line. Another 1/2 inch. I didn't make my pleats all the way down the sleeve, like maybe he probably did. Maybe that's why. I kind of stopped at the underarm point. I mean, that could be. So again, I'm just trying to make that green.
Yeah, which, I mean, you've never did this before. If you were to show me a new fold and you've never did it, and we're going to do it live, yeah, it's not going to be the easiest thing for me to do, for sure.
Okay. So I think, quite possibly the difference is Scott made like his pleat all the way from the underarm all the way up the sleeve. And then I'm gonna attempt to do that.
That's not coming together.
Let's see.
I don't think I do. I think I'm going to start over too.
Why?
Are you starting over completely?
Oh, I did, but I'm halfway done now. I'm just why?
Just to this point.
Well, see, now yours looks more like mine just looked a minute ago.
Right. I'm going to see something here.
So I'm trying to do it more like Scott. So Scott likes to make one continuous pleat from all the way to all the way to all the way. I just can't control my pleats like that. I just can't, but I'm trying. Okay, so now I'm at that point. I'm at that red line where he says, now we're going to make our pivot. So you want to hold it, pivot it. So I'm going to pivot. And we get those dorsal flaps that he's calling them.
The old dorsal fin.
Pivot, dorsal fins. Let's see. Okay, and I'm going to keep pivoting.
Okay, so I remember now. And I'm sorry. Sorry if everybody's going along with this and starting your pleats going clear across. Don't let your pleats go clear across into the other sleeve stuff.
Well, I didn't. Now.
Okay. You're fine. Don't. Because at first I did. At first I did. I told Kelly, I was like, I can't remember if I because I haven't done this for just a little while. Yeah, at first I took my pleats completely across. Don't do that. Don't go clear across the sleeve. Leave the sleeve down. It makes going down the second line a lot easier.
All right, you guys. You just heard it from the master. We're starting over. Okay. Here we go. All right. So you want to make a 1/2 inch pleat. Let me double make sure that it's a
now
because obviously the smaller the better. Okay, so there's my 1/2 inch pleat, and I'm going to pleat up this green line, and I like to keep my work straight in front of me. Makes it a lot easier because if you have a 1/2 inch pleat, when you open it up, you've got a 1-inch pleat. I hope you guys understand that. The more you tie dye and do it on a regular basis, the more you'll understand, because each pleat has a top and a bottom and a top and a bottom and a top and a bottom. And then when you open it, you can see now it's a 1-inch pleat. And it, with ice dyeing, it makes all kind of cool effects. Okay, so here we go. We're going to go straight up that line again.
Yeah.
And we're going towards this red line.
That's right.
We're going to go up to that point. That is our focus, and that is our goal.
Yeah.
Just get it right up to that line.
Yeah.
And making every pleat the same height.
That's right.
So the green line needs to be the same height.
Yeah.
And, you know, again, Scott is really meticulous and likes to do
You're
long
getting
pleats and do it. All I can do is focus on that green line.
Yeah. Now it's looking good. Don't keep them right there. Don't go clear across the shirt. All right.
Okay.
Keep them just like that up to that next sleeve.
Okay. So now
Perfect.
I've pleated to that red line.
Yeah.
I'm going to twist my work in front of me, because now the next goal is to pleat across the red line, making it join into this green line.
Well, not really.
Why?
Because you
that's how I
just
have to
want
make.
you just want to spin the shirt. Well, I guess you can. Yes, you can. Yeah, of course.
Because I have to twist it, and
Yeah,
the only
yeah,
way
yeah.
I can.
Yeah. You're right.
The only way I can do that is to pleat up that line to make the twist.
Sure.
So I can twist my work to get it to join the other line.
Yeah, as long as you're making those little fins stick up, I think you should be all right. And even if you didn't, I think it'd be okay, you know. Because I usually, the little fins that I have, they usually stick up a good bit. But you know, it doesn't matter. I mean, this is kind of an experimental. You can experiment with it. How far from the edge do you want to draw your arc? You know, because the farther away you draw from the edge, the more little dorsal fins you're going to have.
Right. I can
Uh,
see that. I won't really truly understand it until I do my washout.
yeah.
But this is a good starting point.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Yours is looking good. You're getting it. Now try to keep those little the ones on the side, try to keep those. Like don't pull your shirt on the little, like how you just did and pulled them. Keep those ones going. Yeah. And then
Are you talking about in the underarm side? Like, so like in my underarm, they're almost making a U shape.
Right, exactly. Mine is too.
Okay.
Mine is too.
So I think for this particular shirt, if anybody watches it back, we mathematically measured back from the centerfold XYZ. I think you said 2 inches specifically, and then we did the other line specifically, and it gives people a starting point. And then I won't know until I rinse it, you know, what I need to do to make pleating it easier next time. Probably for me, potentially bringing that, mine is a red line, you guys. Bringing that red line back a little bit farther might have made it easier for me to make the turn.
Yeah.
But I won't know until I rinse this out. Okay, right. But I'm getting it now. Like the main thing, you guys, is to Scott's line is a black line and my line is a green line. And that is a line that you need to keep straight, and they need to be a half an inch tall, or they need to be an inch tall or a centimeter tall. Whatever you start with, they need to stay that way through the whole process.
Right.
So, but if you want to make it like what we're making it, it needs to be a half inch tall pleat on the green line and on his black line.
Yep.
And keeping that line as straight as possible. And mine's meandering a little bit here and a little bit there, but I think it's going to be all right. I mean, it's real close.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, good God. Why did I agree to this?
It's weird, isn't it?
It's with this guy, Stephanie. How do you think I feel?
Yeah, no doubt. Like, seriously. He's just like, oh, yeah, I'm just going to go down here and make all these cool shirts. And
Well, I mean, I was been doing these double fan folds and drawing arcs on it, and I thought one day, what would it look like if I drew a triangle instead of a circle?
yeah, I'm into
And
it.
it just did it. I went up, knew I had to make my bend, so instead of doing it at the point, I did it just before the point and started making those little fins and kept my line and came up with this. And then next, I don't use any sinew. If you're those little dorsal fins are kind of tall for you. If you're following along or whenever you go to do this, if those little fins are sticking up, they're real tall. Don't put a rubber band over top of it. You don't want to smash it down. You know what I mean? And I even put my ice cubes around it and make it level, so I keep them straight up, and I'm not smashing them down and stuff.
Okay.
That,
Okay. I mean,
that
I
yeah.
hear what you're saying. So I can tell you right now, my rubber bands are not tight enough at all. They're not going to hold. So I'm going to have to. I hate kite string, but I'm going to have to. I don't have any. I mean, my baby hair rubber bands are going to be too tiny. Um, I, in order for me to work my pleats this way, there's just no way I can't get a rubber band without completely destroying what I've just done, and I'm terrified to wreck what I just did. I'm going to use kite string just so I can hold this in place. And I hate using kite string, you guys. You know that. I don't like it. There's uh I don't like to use sinew either. I want to use rubber bands at all times. So there's nothing wrong with kite string. It's just it takes more work. I don't have the right size rubber bands. So,
Yeah.
in order for me to continue pleating and try to find the right size rubber bands to cinch down I'm going to mess all this up. So, uh, I'm doing what I'm doing. Same difference. I am not looking to create white lines in this project. I just want my pleats to stay together. That's all I'm trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I keep kind of a gap, in between the first little fin and the last fin. I try not to smash those fins. I try to, try to protect them.
I think I'm working on the opposite side. I think I'm working on I'm on the underarm side right now. So right now this is the underarm side and the bottom of the let me see. What is it? I'm on the underarm and the sleeve is what I'm working on. You are in some other realm of this. I think this shirt's going to have some sort of outer space name because like you are in a whole nother realm compared to.
That's it.
We're about to get a storm, so if she loses us, that's why.
No. Kelly said we're about to get a storm, so
Uh-oh.
if you lose us, that's why.
Oh no, like what kind of storm? Like
You not hear it?
a thunderstorm, a hurricane? I don't.
We don't get it really anything like that here. But we get severe thunderstorms and our power goes out fairly easily, so that could happen. It might not. You never know.
Yeah. Before I left work, they said we were supposed to get 3 inches of rain. I don't know if that's true or not.
God, I wish I could get 3 inches of rain right now. Well, I mean, I hope you guys don't get hit with a storm or, like any bad catastrophe type stuff. We don't have any of that here. Like, nothing.
We don't hear either. I mean, it's just our power will go out for an hour, 2 hours. That's worst case scenario for us. It's nothing dangerous.
Thank goodness. I mean, for that. I mean, for all the other folks that live like in the Tornado Valley and stuff, flood zones, alligators in the sewers.
We're pretty protected here by the so
Yeah, it's been just really abnormally hot here in Oregon. Like seriously, I can dump water for days and then just it's like it just vanishes. It's gone. And you know, it's Oregon. When people think of Portland, they all think, "Oh, it just constantly rains." That's what they got going on out there, and that's how it used to be. Not anymore. Okay, so now I am going to work my way back to the beginning, and now I'm going to work on the rest of the pleats. So what I'm going to do in order to tie it up, I'm going to twist my work. It just because for whatever reason, the way that my hands work, when I'm working on my pleats, if I work this direction, it's easier for me. So he says, don't smash those fins. So I've got them. I got a few of them right here, and I'm just going to keep them tall. And this is one continuous pleat, right, Scott? So we're not knocking them down and breaking the pleats up, right? One continuous pleat from start to finish.
Pretty much. I keep my pleat,
Okay.
Yeah.
So one continuous pleat from start to finish. Okay, I'm doing the best I can. I know I've fallen behind, but I'm in no rush, and that's the thing, you guys. It's like no hurry. Work at your own pace. There we go. I think it's starting to kind of. My pleats are always bigger than his. I don't. Oh, actually, I gotta twist it this way. There we go. So I usually always lose my work towards the ends. Scott takes a lot more pride in his pleats than I do. Because like over here at this point, I'm kind of over it. I'm sick of it. Like I don't want to do this anymore. No, not this. What I'm saying is like I get to the point where I'm like, okay, I don't want to pleat anymore. All I'm thinking about is what color am I going to use?
Yeah.
That's where I'm at right now. Like I don't want to do this anymore. So like this top one, they're looking pretty good. They're all about the right height. They're taller right there, which is fine. I'm not going to knock them down because I don't want to make feathers there. And then you just want to continue to try to make it the half inch all the way to the tip. There we go. They're kind of looking like a tip. A half inch all the way to the tip. Okay. And I got my two. You know what they look like, and I'm not going to say it. You all can use your imagination to what those little flaps look like. Yuck. I only have two, so it really is gross. Oh, the flounder. Okay. Got you. Whatever.
Yeah.
Scott likes fish tacos, you guys. It's his favorite lunchtime snack.
No,
Right?
it looks like a flounder.
No, but I mean, if you were standing over top of my shirt, and if you're an adult, you know what I'm saying. It's gross. Okay. It wasn't gross until I made it gross. How about that?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, unfortunately, in order for me to tie it, I have to kind of. I'm trying not to knock them down, but I gotta sort of make it tight. Like.
Nah, leave them up there. Use your
Yeah,
eyes.
so I'm trying not to knock them down, but
Eyes as a barrier. That's what I do. I mean, because some of these I've had them like some of those little fins, I've had them up. They're like over an inch tall. So I just
Sure.
use my ice and go
No,
to.
the ice will knock them down. I'm trying to keep a steady, because I'm using kite string instead of rubber bands, right? So, I'm trying to keep like a steady line. So I don't know if you guys saw in the beginning of the last video, I was playing around with sampling out colors that I never use, like ever. And Brazil nut. What did I do? It was Brazil nut, khaki, and olive drab or something like that. Gorgeous colors. Oh my gosh. Super pretty splits. And I never think to use colors like that ever.
Yeah, I didn't know Brazil nut split like that.
Oh,
I
it's
don't.
beautiful. Gorgeous. And everybody's jar is going to be different, but mine was that really pretty blue and brown and gold. And okay. All right. So, this is what mine looks like, you guys. It is what it is.
Yeah.
It's my first time, and
Yeah.
we'll see at the end, or in a few days,
If
if it's a total disaster or if it's kind of cool. And if
Yeah.
you're using kite string, you just want to work your way back down to your starting point, and then just secure it with a simple double knot. So I got to find that first string, wherever the heck that is. Let's see. I think it's right. There we go. Okay. All right. Now what do we do?
What is
Can
it?
you hear me?
Yeah. What'd you say?
I said, now what do we do?
Now we're going to do put it in a gutter or on a rack if you have it, and do dye over ice. So it's going to be very easy dye placement.
Ooh, fun stuff.
So it's easy from here on out.
Thank the Lord. Thank baby Jesus. Okay, so
Tie-dye Jesus.
are we inclining it?
Yeah. Yes, I do incline it.
Okay, does it matter which end is inclined, up or down? Or?
Yeah, I put the how would I? The
Let's see.
fins pointing to the right. Yeah, the fins are going to be down. So like,
So here, like
where
I've
you
got
made
my
the
little.
bend, where you made the bend, that's going to be at the top of
Okay.
the incline.
So I think it's gonna go this way. So
Yeah,
the tag of the shirt's down at the bottom of the gutter.
absolutely,
Okay. Okay.
absolutely.
Here's my little fins, you guys. I don't know. You
Yeah,
guys.
that's perfect.
Yeah, you guys decide what you think they look like. I'll leave that up to your dirty minds to figure it out.
So now you see why I was calling it the flounder. Because
Well,
it's flat like a
yeah.
flounder and has little dorsal fins. Uh, but I hate that name, man. I really do. I do.
No, it
I,
needs a better name than the flounder.
yeah,
And
definitely.
like I said, we'll come up with one. Maybe we'll do a group, like a group thing, and
Uh,
let
something.
everybody put a vote in, and then maybe we can maybe settle in on a few names and then have everybody vote, kind of a thing. Okay, so I see you got yours in the gutter. Thank you, Betty. Yeah, that was not easy, but you know what? It will be next time. I get it now. I just had to do it once. I
So
see ways that I could make it a lot easier.
that's why I like.
No,
That's
I'm teasing.
I'm
I
like
mean,
you. That's why I want to show stuff to people so that
just easier for me,
they're
not easier for my brain. Like how can I do it to where it's like, okay, yeah, okay. So, okay. Yep. See, to me, see you guys, can you see that how I said it looks like two pyramids, one on top of the other. Um I have a shirt and I wear it all the time, so I see it all the time, and that's what I see. It to me, it's very sort of it's like mystical. Something mystic would be a good name.
So if we deconstruct the shirt,
Yeah, so I mean, it's definitely like it's an incline, pleated, back ass words.
yes,
I'm making jokes now, but okay. So you're gonna add the dye while it's in your gutter and not do it in your on your rack.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to do dye over ice. I'm going to put straight ice over top of this,
Hey, Jen.
and then I'm going to do dye over top of the ice.
Oh, that's right. That's right. We're doing dye over ice. Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
To the people listening and watching and all that. I've done dye under ice on this before, and I've never liked the outcome on it. I've done it twice, and both times I just did not care for it. So I just make it easy and just do dye over ice. I do one color. I usually use one color and sprinkle it on my ice exactly the same way I would do a watercolor or a tall deep scrunch. The exact same way. And I seem to get really good saturation every time. If you don't get any, if you get like white spaces left on those little fins, leave it, because that's what really makes it look cool. That white really makes it like those other colors set off.
Yeah, my goal for this one is to set it and forget it.
Yes.
Unless there's something that's really screaming out to me like, "Oh my gosh, I missed a whole side of that shirt."
Right. But
Try
with
to
dye
fit.
over ice, we should be good.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, absolutely.
if it's like blatantly a mistake, I'll try to fix it. But if it's just a little bit, I'll try to leave it. Betty says Stargate. You know what? I kind of like that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I like that too.
Amanda says the pleated prism. I like that too. I mean, that's really good. Okay, so you said ice first. Now what kind of incline? Steep incline? Like,
I quit doing steep inclines here. I don't know. I mean, I usually do about a 15-degree incline. So I use the eye level app,
okay.
and you can lay your phone on your gutter, and it will tell you what degree what degree you're at. Um, I don't really need to use it now because I use the same incline every time. I have a cooler that I set my gutter on, and I basically have the same incline every time, which is right around 15 degrees. It seems like you got 9 degrees out of yours.
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do then is just I'm going to call it like the usual incline. And so I do a lot less of an incline that Scott does because my container is we've done this and gone through it before, but my container is about 5.5 or yeah, well, let's just say 6 inches tall. And when I stick an empty dye jar down in there, which I'm going to have to go get, it changes the incline to about 9 degrees. So a very slight incline. And I really wish I had the same kind of gutter that Scott has because his is a lot more wide open. And I could probably bend this. But you guys, these new gutters from the local gutter people, your gutter company, it's such a game changer as far as adding ice. Like I literally can set this and forget it. With the Lowe's gutters, the vinyl gutters that you've seen me use for years, I will still continue to use those because they're amazing, but I have to babysit it. I have to usually come and add a second layer or a third layer of ice. This way I can just fill the gutter up all the way, put it off to the side, and forget that I'm even doing anything. So get with your local gutter company. And I've said this before too. If you're in the Portland area, I've got the hookup. So you need to private message me And I can try to help you contact the people that are cool enough to cut it. And I would say this one is this is 3 feet, and as you can see, there's a lot of extra gutter. If you're going to order your gutters, I would say start at 2.5 feet and go up from there. It's good to have longer size gutter for longer type projects, but the average size shirt would fit in 2.5 feet of gutter usually perfectly. So I need to go grab I need to go grab my little empty dye jar to put to elevate my thing, my gutter, and then I need to go grab some ice. So I'm going to
Okay.
step away, Scott. I'll be right back.
Okay. So, let me grab the iPad here and I'll read some of this stuff. Um, can't wait to try it, Vanda. Yeah. Was anybody going along with this? And if they were, man, I apologize about, getting to going around the bend like 2 times and then starting all over and confusion. Yeah, sorry about that. It has been a little while since I did it. I made that post this morning. I said here's a few from the vault. And it really has been quite a while. I mean, I sent Steph one months ago. So yeah, it'd been just a minute, but we got it. You just don't take your pleats clear across the other sleeve. I was thinking that I did, but don't do that, and it makes it a lot easier to keep both lines straight. So, but I've had it really sloppy up here, like this, where you make the bend. I've had it kind of sloppy before, and thought I don't think that's going to turn out very well, and it's turned out great. So I think you're back, aren't you? No, maybe not. Okay. Pretty dark. Nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay.
Eric's
All
not the punk in the gutter. All right. No doubt.
What? What's happening? I heard you laugh. What?
Eric Snyder says he's the punk in the gutter.
What does that mean?
He's a punk living in the gutter.
Oh, well, okay. I got you.
What was the name of that app? It's called iLevel.
Oh, yeah. I can't. It's on my phone. Yeah. So if you just go into the App Store and no, it wasn't eye level. I tried to do eye level and we ended up, it was something totally different. Or was it eye level?
Yeah, it was something different that you downloaded.
You were telling me it was eye level and it wasn't. But basically, it's really easy. You guys, I don't know. And I can't, if I take my phone down to try to find it, I'm going to screw everything up. So just go grab like the level app. Like it was like the first one the most popular one. Super easy to use. All I did was take my phone, set it like I have my gutter on the incline and I just set my phone with the app open on it and it said exactly what it was.
Yeah. So actually, I remember
so
you downloaded this one and you said you couldn't get through past the advertisements or something like that. And I was
are you looking? There isn't one called eye level, is it?
Yeah. And then you ended up finding it. It is called iLevel.
Oh, okay. If it's called eye level, then
you were like, is it one that looks like it has a protractor? And I was like, yeah, it looks like a protractor. And then when you set it on there, it gives you the angle. But yeah, it works. It worked good. That way, if you get an incline that you like, then you can keep it that way. You can see what incline it is, and then if you have like eight of those that you have to do, and you're so then you can set them all at the same angle. You know.
Yeah.
What I mean?
No, I agree. Until I don't know 2-3 weeks ago, I had no idea what level. I guess that I was somewhere like around 20%, and no.
Yeah, I thought I was at 30, and I wasn't even close. I was at.
No. So I'm going to do mine right now. I just want to show you guys. This is an empty dye jar. Never stick your dye jars into a container where there's going to be ice and water. Ever, never, never. Only an empty old dye container. So I put it down at the bottom. I stick my gutter on that. This is 6 inches tall, and it ends up being around a 9-degree, very, very, very slight incline. Scott's is going to be steeper than mine because that's just the way his setup is. If I was to take this away, I bet Scott and I would have a closer incline. And actually, maybe I should. Maybe I should just not raise it up. But I don't know. This is just what I do, so that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got my ice. I need to go get my ice into my bowl. Let's see. Can you guys see me? I stepped away, Jody. I walked away from the table because I had to go get some supplies, and it looked like maybe I froze. Are you guys able to hear and see me?
Good. You're good.
Okay.
Okay. So sorry, I need to cross this ice for just a minute, just a little bit. I'm going to try to find a couple chunks here to lay on each side of this little fin to protect it, to keep it from breaking down, bending over.
Okay.
So,
What color are you doing? Did you say? Because I wasn't here.
I never decided. Really?
Pretty Dark says such a warm welcome. Were you warm? Were you being warm?
New. She's new.
She's new.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, welcome. I'm happy to have you here. Okay. Yep. All right. So you're being you're protecting those flaps.
Yeah. So I put ice around it so that when I pour my ice or put my ice on it, it doesn't break those over and bend those down.
Okay. All right.
That's all I do with that. And then now I can just add my ice, but I need to get barriers on the end so that when I put my ice on, it doesn't run out both ends. So just a second.
So I'm not doing, now that I have this new gutter system, I'm not doing any ice barriers because I'm elevating it. I realize now since it's elevated, my shirt is not going to soak in the muck water at all.
Right.
Because I have it elevated. I used to be really worried about that. So I can just let the shirt kind of be down at the bottom of the gutter so I don't have to fill it up with a bunch of extra ice. Whereas if I was to raise it all the way in the middle of the gutter to change my incline to even like if I wanted to, if you want to make it a steeper incline, you can put it up here at the top, but then you have to fill the whole bottom with ice. I don't like to do that. So I'm just going to put mine all the way down to the bottom. Got my little empty dye jar down there. And now I'm actually going to start out with using my nugget ice. So I'm going to go grab my nugget ice and I'll be right back.
Okay. And now I'm just going to go ahead and put ice over my shirt. So the good thing about this pattern is dye placement's all dye over ice. So you use any colors you want. I usually just use one color. I use splitting colors. If you saw my post earlier, the real, like the red and all the ones that were strawberry. And then I had one that was bronze. It looked pretty cool. It's a non-splitting color.
Bronze splits? What are you talking about?
It's not real hard though, does it?
Well, I mean, it doesn't. It's not. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's not going to like turn purple, but right. I think you've gotten really used to using dyes that are made to split.
Yeah.
Most of the dyes split, you guys, except for the primary colors. Well, Scott's just used to using dyes that are designed to specifically split.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, if Scott doesn't see 15 colors in one dye jar, he's like, this color is terrible. Okay. No, I'm messing
what kind
with
of dye
you.
is
Come
this?
on.
Yeah.
I'm teasing you. I thought that was the whole point of being here. Is we're just we're hanging out and having fun, right?
Well, yeah, absolutely. We're all
So
tie-dye here today.
I'm using my nugget ice, and then I'm gonna put some dye on here, and then I have my Scott and I have the same large machine. I'm gonna put that over top. I think, what did I decide I was doing? I put it in the trash now. I don't remember. I think I decided that I wanted to do the Brazil nut. It's
Yeah.
between Brazil nut. Okay, hey, I need you guys to answer me real quick because I got about 5 seconds. I've got Brazil nut or olive drab. They want me to make sure that my flaps, my dorsals aren't. Yeah, they're not smushed, not at all. I don't know if you guys can see it. I just dug them out. They're up. They're good, and they're they're kind of disgusting. But
the dorsal fins.
I'm down with it. Yeah, make sure my
We've got one for olive drab and one for Brazil nut so far.
Yeah.
Now 2 for Brazil nut.
3 for.
I'll tell you what, you guys. That Brazil nut, when I did it on I don't have gloves on. I can dig it out. Let's see, where was it?
We now have 4.
The Brazil nut was really, really pretty.
5.
Let's see. Well, I mean, now it's gotten all messed up, but the Brazil nut was in the center, so it has a lot of more like the blues, and the olive drab leans more towards the greens and blues.
You got
So,
6 Brazil nut votes.
All right, Brazil nut it is, you guys. That's what we're doing. Okay, so how much how much dye are we putting on this? Are we putting a lot of dye on there?
No, I don't. Since we're using colors that split, you know how it is. The less is best with these colors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, you know, did an experiment once when we were doing a TDS or a watercolor scrunch, and you took a picnic spoon and saw to see how much it was, and I think you didn't even use.
No.
And over the sink strainer, you didn't even use a teaspoon of dye.
Yeah. A little goes a long way.
Yeah, so it's going to be the same thing, Steph. Pretty much the exact same. Just cover your ice, pretty much barely cover your ice over, and then we'll add soda ash and pray for the best.
Okay. Well, I'm confident. I mean, I just went through all that pleating. I feel pretty confident. So I'm going to be using my funnel scoop from Boredom with Jen, or it's Shop Boredom with Jen, you guys. I have to retrain my brain. Shop Boredom with Jen, and it's on the World Wide Web. You don't want to go to Etsy. So I say this, Scott, www.shopboredomwithjen.com, is because I don't want you guys going to Etsy and trying to find her there. Go to the internet. And also there's a link down below in the description box. But these funnel scoops are amazing. So I'm just going to try to take just a little bit. I don't like to dip my whole scoop in there because all the stuff on the outside is going to be wasted. So I just try to get in there a little bit, get myself some. I don't know, it's so dark in here, you guys. I hate being in here. That's a lot. That's probably like a whole tablespoon. I don't think I need all that. And then I'm just going to come up here. I don't know, can you see? Yeah, you guys can see it. And then I'm just going to tap 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 tap. It takes a minute for it to start to react. I'm going to use the handle of my shears to help me kind of tap it out. And again, I'm left-handed, so I'm using the left-handed scoops from Shop Boredom with Jen. If you're right-handed, make sure you order the right-handed funnel scoops. But a little goes a long way, and it's going to take a couple minutes. You're going to see it go from the thick dye powder into what it's going to start doing. And this is going to be a brown color for a minute, and then hopefully we're going to start to see some other fun colors. So I kind of just went straight down the center. Now I'm going to I can't really see up underneath the lip of my gutter. So I'm going to kind of come down the side a little bit because I don't want to have any areas that don't have dye. But so far I've used very little. I get asked a lot about, well, doesn't it take so much more dye to do ice dyeing than it does liquid? Well, I mean, it's apples and oranges, you guys. You know how much dye I end up pouring down the drain because it's expired? That I made one shirt and then never go back to the dye bottle. So, and you know, y'all have to find what's going to make you the happiest. Okay, now I'm going to let Scott show you his glory here.
I'm using Silver Spring. It's by Happy Cat Tiedye. And if you've ever seen the collar, I did a side fan fold for, and I put it on the put it on the group. It splits silver, blue, and brown.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
And it's a really cool color, so I think I'll go ahead and use it and see what happens.
All right, I'm excited because this is my favorite part, you guys. I love to see the dye come to life.
Me too. And this is silver. It's called Silver Spring. It's like I said, it splits blue, brown, like a brownish, and silver, and the dye is red. So I saw someone post like, "Is your Silver Spring red too?" and I was like, "Yeah, I think I was at work at lunch, and I was like, yeah, I think mine was. I think it was red because I remember thinking." That's kind of weird, but look at it hit and it starts turning blue.
I know, that's what's crazy. Like
Actually,
a lot
here
of
it's
the
blue
browns look
and
bright
brown.
orange, and then they're not at all. Like, you know, so I'm excited. I know you've probably already started, but we got that delay, so I don't get to see it in real time. Oh yeah, well I used way more dye than you did or are doing.
Well, I'll probably go back over it, but
Well, also that delay, but I mean, right out of the gate, I used a much heavier hand. It's just so easy to go heavy.
it is. It's
I
very
mean,
easy.
I try to tell myself you don't need to go heavy, but there's part of me that's like, oh, but you don't want it to be undersaturated, you know.
Yeah,
So, you know, that I think that's a really good lesson, you guys. You can always add more. You can come back after the first round of ice melts, you can come back, add more ice, more dye. You know, it's better to um start light and go heavy, you know, I think. Yeah, look at that. Ooh. And that's crazy, you know, right. This shirt's going to end up being like gray and blue, you guys. And look at what it starts out as. It's just nuts.
yeah.
I love playing in the dye. Yeah. Amanda says it's paprika. Did you change, Amanda? You changed your picture, didn't you? You're
That's
looking
good
good,
for me.
girl.
It looks kind of dark. From here. It looks kind of dark. I'm sure it probably. Yeah. See already.
Mine's looking kind of like a root beer color.
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, as it's starting to melt.
Uh-huh.
So you're
And
gonna add soda ash.
I add soda ash, and I'm not shy with it either. I actually add quite a bit. I don't.
Well, I just do a quick little sprinkle. That's my method. I mean, to each their own. My shirt's already been soaked. So I just do a quick little sprinkle of soda ash. I think I'm pretty good with that. Now, what I want to do, so I started with my nugget ice. What I want to do now is I want to fill my gutter. So this new gutter is, I wish I had the same gutter as Scott's though, because his is so much bigger. But I thought I was getting 5-inch gutters, but they're only measuring at about, let's see, I can't, it's hard to do it from the backside. They're only measuring at about 3.5, 4 inches. And I thought she said they were going to be 5 inches tall. But still, you guys, I'm getting a whole extra inch of gutter on the local gutter people than the vinyl gutter that you can get at Lowe's. And this is really making a huge difference in the set it and forget it method. Okay. So Mary says, I'm both intimidated and inspired to try this fold. You and me both, Mary. Like you just watch. If you didn't see me fold it, go back and watch it. I was super intimidated, but it's easy. You just got to try it once.
Yeah, once you get it, and I mean,
I
and
made
really,
I
I
really,
apologize for. I
I
apologize
made it
for
look
the
a
people.
lot harder than it actually is.
Well,
So I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. I struggled. I made it look terrifying. It's not.
yeah, but if you were to show me, if you were to have that you've never really shown anybody, and then you say, "Hey, you want to go live with me and do this fold?" I would be like, "Sure."
Well,
I'm going to
you
struggle a little
remember
bit.
Scott and the Geo.
What, Kelly?
You remember Scott and the Geo, don't you?
Oh yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, yeah. I mean, if you don't, yeah. I
I
remember me in my
I had
first
not
geode.
done.
But yeah, I mean,
He was
it
so
was
flustered,
overwhelming.
had to take over.
Yeah, I was so flustered. Kelly took over.
Yeah, and the shirt turned out amazing. I mean, that's just the way it is. Okay, so until you try something, you just don't know. And I just tried this for the first time, and well, wait a minute. I'm speaking too soon. I'm like, oh, it's easy, but wait. I mean, we have to see how it turns out first. If it turns out looking great, then yeah, it was easy. If it turns out looking like bonkers, then we got some room to make improvements, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, but that's the fun of tie dyeing. It's all trial and error. You don't know until you try. You
Yeah,
know, Kelly was talking about the geode. You guys know Fun Endeavors Tie Dye Lab. You guys know, and I've told this story before, but I obsessively watched her for a year, even after I had already started my YouTube channel. And I was terrified to try a geode. And I just would constantly message her and like, oh, and she was just like, just do it. Once you do it, you'll know. And it really, I made one. I was like, oh, that's actually kind of fun. So you guys, don't be afraid. It's all for fun. There's no right or wrong way.
no,
you
absolutely.
know. So
So,
all I'm doing now is I'm just like seriously backfilling my gutter. I'm gonna really set it and forget it. So I want to make sure that I got a lot of ice. It's really hot out here right now. I mean, if I take this out to the patio, it's about close to 90 degrees. And I don't want the ice to melt too quick. And I also don't want to add too much ice, but I want to make sure that there's enough ice to where I can get those color splits.
yeah,
And having the bigger gutter is making the big difference in the way the final project is looking. You guys have been watching me I know I keep repeating myself, but you guys have seen me watch me use those smaller gutters for years, and they're great. But having this extra couple of inches for room for ice is making a huge difference. So if you can't get yourself the bigger gutter right away, build your walls up. Go to the dollar store and get those little plastic cutting boards and stick one on each side. Or you've seen me use tinfoil before and build it up taller so that you can add more ice. Try it out. I really think you're gonna like it.
yeah, yeah. And I make a tag. I don't know if you do, but I make a tag out of tape and put it on my gutter, and it tells me what the fold was, what color I used, and when I need to pull it. So my 48 hours, I put that it's a large shirt. I use Silver Spring, and Thursday evening, and start rinsing it out.
Thursday evening. No, it's not. It's Tuesday, isn't it?
Today's Tuesday, but 48 hours.
Oh, okay. I'm like, what?
Yeah. So I write the day that I'm going to pull it. So Thursday evening, I'll rinse it out.
Okay. Yeah.
See what happens.
So I have the luxury of recording everything for YouTube
Yeah.
that I can go back and look, but yeah, I think documentation is a great idea. Take a photograph, of the dye jars that you used, because if you make your masterpiece and then you say, oh my gosh, how did I fold it, what colors did I use, did I start with the yellow at the top or the yellow at the bottom, those things matter if you want to go back and try to recreate it. So just take, pictures, if nothing else, when you get your dye placement on there, take a picture. Stuff like
Yep.
that. It really does come in handy down the road. For sure. Look, you guys, I go back to my videos all the time to see, like, how did I do that? What, like something that I made 3 years ago, so that I can see, like, okay, this is what I was doing. So, because I get asked quite a bit, like, oh, that one shirt that you did, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't know. But so I'm able to go back and look. So I definitely recommend document. So, Scott, that's a good idea. Taking notes is a
Yeah.
good idea. So I'm curious how this one's going to turn out. I'm literally going to just leave it alone. I'm hoping that I'm going to see all of those beautiful, the oranges and the blues and the darks that I saw on the paper towel when I was testing it out. So fingers crossed on this one. So what are you gonna do to batch yours? I am going to now take this out to the dye room. Like I said, it's about 90 degrees. It's gonna start cooling down. I'm gonna set it out there on a flat surface. I'm gonna set it. I'm gonna forget it. And then, knowing me, I'll come back in probably a week and I'll check it out. Because I'm pretty lazy that way.
Yeah.
But
I will
what you
set
need
mine.
to what you need to do, though, you guys, after the ice melts, let it batch for 24 hours and then you can rinse it. So it's like, do as I say, not as I do. Okay, Scott, what are you doing?
So I just set it up down here. I kind of prefer a slow melt. It's usually about between 65 and 70 down here in my basement. And so I incline down here. And then tomorrow morning, um, if there's no ice left, I'll put it in a bag, a trash bag, and wrap it up and take it and put it up in my attic because it gets real hot up there. And I let it sit there for till Thursday evening, and then I'll start rinsing it out. It stays so hot up there that uh, during my when I start my rinse out, very little dye even comes out. Like it's an easy rinse out. The
Yeah,
longer you let it batch, the easier the rinse is.
for 100% for sure. If you guys have been watching, like if you watched the last rinse out video that I did, hardly anything was happening because it was thoroughly processed. It
Right.
wasn't
And
dry either. It was still
I
damp.
noticed it. I noticed that in your video.
Yeah.
I was,
And
oh man, like hardly anything came out. It was like
yeah,
running clear, like super. And I know you speed your stuff up, but it doesn't matter. Like right as soon as you opened it up and laid it down in your sink and started spraying it, I was like, golly, man, there's no color even coming out.
yeah, because it was set.
Yep.
All the dye, all the soda ash, everything bonded. Everything was just in the shirt. Like I didn't pull it too fast. I wasn't rushing the process. Um, I don't recommend letting your stuff sit for a week, but sometimes you get busy. You go on vacation. It's summertime. Um, I made sure that the shirt was covered. So on the last shirt, what I did was, once it was done, because I needed to use the gutter, I took it out of the gutter and I put it on a little inclined rack inside the tote, and I just put the lid on the tote, and I just left it until I had time to get to it.
Yeah.
But I didn't heat it up. I didn't stick it outside. I didn't do anything to it. I made sure that it was covered. But I don't do any of that until I know it's done doing its thing. But as long as you just let it kind of stay damp, you can just let it go. After 48 hours, nothing is going to happen. So by me leaving it for 5, 6 days, I didn't benefit from that. I just couldn't and didn't want to get to rinsing it out. So that's all I'm saying. But
Yeah.
for the learning process, once this ice melts, that's when you start the clock. So if this ice melts in 5 hours from now, then you start your 24-hour timer. And 24 hours, you can rinse it out. If you can wait and be patient for 48 hours, it's even better.
Yeah.
It really, really is.
Yeah. And do a shirt every day, and then you'll be able to just let that sit for 48 hours every time. And
Yeah.
then that helps with your patience. You know what I
One-
mean?
100%. Like Scott, Scott only has a certain amount of space and gutters, right? So,
Yeah.
once it's done, he's ready to go and start tying things up. He likes to make like 10 projects a day, right? So,
Yeah.
he's got to keep things moving. I'm not in that same position, right? So, for him, taking them, wrapping them, putting them off to the side, it's I think the thing that we really need to stress though, Scott, is it has to be done with the process before you start moving it and putting it into a plastic bag.
Right, right. Like I don't put it in a plastic bag if it's dripping wet. I don't do that. I wait. Okay, so this is what usually happens. I work 8 hours a day, Monday through Friday, and I usually get off at 2 in the afternoon. My evening, my tie dyeing evening doesn't really start until about 6 o'clock of the evening because I go and hang out with my mother of an evening time. So I don't get a whole lot of stuff done, but what was your question again?
Did you lose your train of thought? Okay.
I did because I started talking about my mom.
Your mom is so sweet. So
Yeah.
yeah, Scott's a good son and he checks on his mama every day. So what he's saying is, he makes it like he'll make his shirt like this shirt tonight. He's gonna set it and
Yeah.
forget it. He's
Yeah.
gonna get up, he's gonna go to work, do his
Yeah.
8 hour shift, go spend time with his mama, and then it'll be, close to maybe a 24-hour mark. It's done doing what it's doing. Then he can move it out of the gutter and place it inside of another container, inside of a plastic bag, whatever. But
Yeah.
it's no longer actively in the process of what it's doing.
Right.
It's
That
you know,
movement already, the movement of the shirt is already done. You
yeah.
know,
Like
if it's
the dye flows are
yeah.
done.
So it's 9 now. There's still going to be ice on that in the morning because, like I said, it's only 67 degrees down here, so it's a slow melt. Um, so in the morning, usually there'll be like 10 ice cubes left. So I'll go to work for 8 hours and then come home and open a trash bag up and rip it open if I need to. If I have more than one shirt, just rip it down the seams and make it a real long piece of plastic and then wrap shirts up in it and
Hmm.
put my tag on top of that shirt. That way I know what colors was what and, all that. Um, and then I keep that up there until Thursday evening. So tomorrow I'll go to work, come home at like 2 o'clock, put that shirt in a bag, put it up in the attic until Thursday night,
Yeah.
and start my rinse process. And it's a lot like yours. It's so hot up there that a lot of times my renting process is really easy, and that helps with my water consumption too.
Yeah.
If you're sitting there just rinsing, 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 rinsing forever, heck, man. That's why I start worrying. When I first started tie dyeing, my first 2 months, I told Kelly, I want to keep an eye out on this water consumption
Yeah.
because I don't know what our bill's going to do. Actually, our bill really never went up.
Yeah. I mean, it shouldn't unless you're excessively overly rinsing and all of that, and it should, if you're allowing your project to batch long enough, you shouldn't have a problem. Now I will say this, for those of you that prefer to liquid dye, you're going to have to rinse more. The ice dyeing process is really helping with the rinsing process because it's pushing all of the water through and it's doing its thing. Liquid dye is pure dye, and so you got to get that out.
Yeah.
Liquid dye really needs to be rinsed very, very well. And if you're not going to let it batch long enough to where the dye doesn't have enough time to bond with those natural fibers,
Hmm.
most of your dye is going to end up going down the drain. And you're really your shirt might be the same color and vibrancy, but you're just wasting a lot of water and energy by being. I get it. You're excited. You want to yank it in 5 hours. You want to pull that shirt and rinse it right away. But I just don't recommend it. All that dye has got to go somewhere. I'd rather it bond with those natural fibers than just rinse it down the drain.
Yeah.
So, um, I'm just an ice dyer. I guess that's not really what we're talking about, but I just prefer to ice dye. I like the way it looks. I like the whole process of it. I feel like it's very forgiving. I feel like the rinse out process is easier. I feel like we get more colors. I think we get more bang for our buck as far as dye colors go. I think I'm going to have a variation of colors with just a sprinkle of dye. Whereas with liquid, to do the same thing, I'd probably have to use 6 different colors to achieve the same look.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's, like I said, it's apples and oranges. Everybody, you got to find what works best for you.
Yeah.
Ice dyeing is where it's at for me. So, I'm excited. My first time. I hope it comes out looking something like what you just made or what you have on the screen.
Yeah, but if not, that's still, it's still going to be cool.
Well, it'll still be something. I
Yeah.
mean, it could turn out to be a disaster, and I gotta strip it down or turn it into something else. I mean, you never know. But I'm excited, and I'm also really excited for this Brazil nut because I don't think I've ever used it before, you guys. So, uh, that's exciting to me. I know a lot of you have used this color before, and I know it's pretty. So we'll see. I'm already getting a lot of root beer colored dye drips down there. And I might leave this sit here because it's probably only about 75 degrees in here. So I don't really need to move it out. I'm not going to do any more tie dyeing today. So I guess I could just let it sit here and do its thing because I don't want the ice to melt too quickly. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll see. But you know what you might want to consider, Scott, is maybe when you transition and do that wrap process, because we don't ever get to see, like, we don't get to see what happens with you from here to the next step. So you might want to just consider like taking a photograph, and I'm going to try to be good about the rinse and reveal video so I could show, like, if you take some photographs, I could.
Well, we can just do a reveal video. That's only like 5-10 minutes long. That's what I did with that when I go live on my channel. In 2 days or in 3 days, I just do a live reveal, and it was like 5-10 minutes long. And then
Well, I'm talking more about what you do from here. Like when you said you wrap it in plastic,
oh yeah, 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 yeah,
like
definitely, yeah.
you and I won't be on the. I doubt. I mean, I guess we could try to do that. I don't think we're on the same wavelength though. Meaning, like, you're gonna wrap yours, and I guess I could show what mine is doing, but it's probably just gonna still be sitting
What?
here.
So what? You're not going to cover it or anything. You'll just leave it in the gutter.
No, I'm gonna literally leave it here until the ice melts, and then, like, if I get excited and I need to use the gutter and it's completely done, probably in 48 hours from now, I will possibly take it out and put it on a rack down here inside the tote and then put the lid on it just to keep it safe. Now, I could rinse it, but I only have one shirt, right? So it's just a total waste of time, energy, water, washing machine. I need, I can't look, that's a whole nother topic. But for me to just wash one shirt in the washing machine is wasteful. And I can tell you right now, I'm not tie-dyeing anything else today. So this will be the only shirt ready to go, right?
Right.
So that's why a lot of times my stuff will sit for a week because I need at least like 6 or 8 things to wash together. Otherwise it just is wasteful. I don't dye as much as you do.
Yeah.
So what I was just saying was,
I
yeah, I
like.
mean, I guess we could go live in 48 hours and show like where do we go from here?
No, no. I mean, actual after we wash it, dry it, iron it, go and do a reveal.
Well, we've been doing the reveals on the next live video, but people are having to wait 2-3 weeks, a month for it to show up. What I'm going to try to do is be responsible and next week make like a reveal video to follow it up. But we
Yeah.
can talk about that.
Like you did on the last one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. So,
That's,
for instance, if you were to document this shirt that you're doing right now
yeah.
and just take some still photos of where you went from here, I
Yeah.
can, I can add them to the video and say 48 hours, this is what it looked like, this is what he did, and
Yeah.
then, like that.
Yeah.
I mean, we can talk about it. I guess what I'm just trying to say is your schedule and my schedule don't always combine
Yeah.
at the same time. And when you say you stick it in a plastic bag, people can only use their imagination. They don't know what that actually looks like.
Yeah. I just put it in a trash bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
I
or
I
you know
went
what?
I went to
Scott has a YouTube channel, you guys. Scott, you can put on your channel, you can make a video on, what I mean? Like you could show that.
yeah.
Anyways, we can talk about it. I'm just saying.
I think this shirt right here that you can see. I think it was Stormageddon. I think it was either Stormageddon.
It looks like Stormageddon because it has the purple and the gray.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's Stormageddon. But
Okay.
after I did this shirt, I had thought about naming it Meditation
Yeah.
because it, you can see a head right here on this, and it almost looks like he's praying, like his arms are stretched out and he's got his hands cupped like he's praying, or meditating or whatever. But
Well, that's what I'm saying. It definitely has a very mystical feeling to this particular pattern, whereas others don't. I don't know about you, but when I think of like, the pyramids in Egypt, it seems magical, mystical, mystifying. And I see that pattern. And so it has that sort of Zen type vibe to it. So I
yeah,
think whatever we settle on, I don't remember what the names were now. I'd have to go back and look, but a couple of the names that were thrown out were like pretty good.
yeah, yeah. And then that one guy, he said um, Descent, and I thought that was kind of cool too because it looks kind of like, especially down here at the bottom, where it almost looks like it's flowing inside itself.
Yeah. No,
Uh, like you're walking down some psychedelic hallway.
no, it's a super cool pattern. And my biggest fear is I'm not going to have a triangle on the center.
Oh, did you add more ice on top of yours?
Huh?
You added more ice on top of yours.
I did. Yeah.
So I'm going to leave it where it's at, but you know how like when we do dye over ice, after like 10 or 15 minutes, the colors really start coming out on it.
Yeah.
It looks like the blues that are in that are already falling off the ice cube.
On yours?
Yeah. So you know how you say first is the blues are about the first to stick to the shirt.
No, the blues are the last. So the
Oh,
first
blues
color.
are the last.
No,
Why
yeah.
is it looks like some of the where the blue was sitting has fallen off the ice.
Well, I don't know how it falls off the ice, but when it comes to bonding with the natural fibers, it yellow bonds. I'm almost positive it yellow bonds first, red bonds second, blues bond last. They need the longest amount of time. So if you're working with blue dyes, they have to have 70 degrees or higher. And at 48 hours, you're going to have the most bonded blues. If you want to pull them at 24 hours and you're working with blues, you're going to be rinsing for an hour. So how it's falling off the ice, I don't know. But when you're working with Strawberry Skies from Happy Cat Tie-Dye, and after all the ice is melted, the top of your shirt looks magenta or purple, pink, and then you pick it up and you look at the back and the back looks blue. It's because that's the way it settles. So it bonded first with the magentas and the reds and the pink tones, and then the back bonded. That's why it works that way.
So here's another one that I did, and this was stormy. This was stormy sky. You can tell. Um, and look at the white in this. I think it makes it look really friggin' cool. It'll take you a second.
Yeah, Pro Chemical and Dye Stormy Sky. If you guys don't have it, you must order it. Pro Chemical and Dye Stormy Sky is one of the greatest colors ever. I think Pro Chemical and Dye really just like sparked off and has created all of these dye splitting companies, honestly, straight up. Yeah, it's gorgeous. I mean, look, that's all just one dye jar, isn't it?
Yeah, that's just stormy sky.
Yeah. So, look at the beauty and just Stormy Sky. Pro Chemical and Dye, you
And
guys.
even they're white. Don't panic if you those little fins. Don't panic if you get white on the tips, because when you open it up, man, it really makes those emblems sparkle. You know,
And when you're talking about the emblem, you're talking about the center
those
of the shirt.
little center pieces, like you were saying, are like the triangles
Yeah.
or the little pyramid shapes. Yeah.
Eric is asking, ever incorporate shibori technique in your handiwork? Yeah, Scott makes shibori work all the time. Scott's like a master shibori artist,
I
hands
wish.
down. So, yeah,
Wish.
we haven't done a shibori. Scott and I have not done a shibori video, but Margot and I have, or Margot taught me how to do shibori on towels. And go check it out on the live tab. Because Margot is really amazing, but Scott is really awesome too. And Scott and I are hoping to do a Shibori video coming up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Absolutely.
yeah, so no, yeah, just look at how beautiful that is. It's like the center is glowing. Like I said, Stormy Sky
Yeah.
from Pro Chemical and Dye. I could be totally wrong, but I feel like when you started launching your Stormy Sky shirts, all of a sudden lots of dye companies started making splitting dyes.
Well, they can send me some money then.
No, but I mean, like, legitimately.
I'm just kidding, man.
No, Grateful Dyes came out with their ice dye launch. Um, Dharma launched, like, they chose their zombie dyes, like they
Well,
went through and picked their most splitting dyes to like. I'm being
but
serious.
I mean, you look at Dharma. You go to Dharma's website, or you get the poster that has the solid color swatch. You know what I'm talking about from Dharma.
Mm-hmm.
And even on the website, it has like what mint green looks like, and it just looks like mint green, um, or a splitting color, like stormy, like dusty purple. The swatch on top of my jar is just a purple, a solid purple.
Yeah.
Uh, uh,
Well, because they don't. and just up until recently, they look, the companies, they do not stand behind their dyes as splitting dyes. They
Right.
only know them as pure dyes if you mix them with liquid and follow the recipe,
Sure, sure.
just
And
one cup of
that was my
water to
point.
1 teaspoon of dye. And it's so, like, if you call them up and are like, well, I was ice dyeing with it, and my color is more green than her color, it was more blue. They're like, well, we're not getting involved in that, because
Yeah, we make these dyes are made for liquid dyeing.
100%.
So if you're smart, if the company's smart, they're going to start basing stuff around hot water irrigation and ice dyeing, and you know what I mean.
Well, they are.
Cover your grounds, and
No,
hit the whole market. You know what I mean?
well, I mean, they are, and that's why Grateful Dyes has launched their ice dye collection. Dye Spin, which is a brand new company, has now launched their very own ice dye collection. We have Happy Cat Tie Dye, who has launched an ice dye only collection. Um, Basically, Dharma is the last to launch their own splitting dyes, but Dharma's like the biggest company, and all of their dyes split except for the primary colors. So, I mean, some split more than others, but they're late to the game, but like, this is Brazil nut. It's going to split.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, they're late to the game. Look, ice dyeing, I think, just really took off in 2020. Like, it went berserk. Otherwise, before that, I think it was just some quilting fabric dyers, just some specialty techniques. Paula Birch has a wonderful website who talks about all different types of ways to dye. And I mean, that was basically all the information you had on ice dyeing. And then Fun Endeavors Tie Dye Lab launched her ice dyeing, well, her channel, which is primarily ice dyeing. And, it exploded. We had a pandemic and all of us went like, woo, tie dye. So, I think the dye companies are just late to the game. I'm going to make the proclamation that until you started showing your side fan folds with Stormy Sky, I don't think any of the dye companies were paying attention. That's all I'm saying. And maybe it's because I'm in my bubble, Scott, and in our community, within our bubble and our group. But I think everybody can remember the first time they saw you do a side fan fold with Stormy Sky. We all went, what is that? What is that color? I know you remember what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I totally remember my first fanfold with Stormy Sky. I remember my first fanfold with Sanu.
So, that I think, in my bubble, really started to change the way all of us are now looking at ice dyeing. Like,
Well,
it's on the whole next level. So I'm
well,
just saying, maybe I'm totally wrong. You guys can tell me in the comments if I'm totally out of my mind, but I'm almost certain that the reason why we're doing what we're doing right now is because of your first side fanfold with Stormy Sky.
thank you very much.
So that's just all I'm going to say about that. All right, you guys. Oh, Jen. Let's see. Let's see. Mary says that's the one main thing I hate about liquid dyeing. The washouts take forever. As a lifelong California, yeah. I mean, if you're living in a water drought type situation, yeah. I mean, tie dyeing is a really not great hobby to have because it does require a lot of water. Completely.
Yeah. So you can actually see on this shirt where these, what we were calling the dorsal fins. You can tell on this shirt that they were pretty big. They were tall. You can tell by these little, where it almost looks like a mushroom, where these lobes hang down. They're pretty tall. So you can tell that those were those stuck up pretty tall. So when I did my
those the flaps.
yeah, these flaps. So when I did my arc, when I did my arc, it was
I hate those flaps. I'm sorry, but okay. So go on. So what did you do
yeah, you
to?
can tell the arc that I made was a good ways away from the edge.
Yeah.
You know, so the farther away from the edge you make your arc, the bigger the big the bigger those emblems are going to be.
I know. I just looked up. I'm like, what? Yeah, Kelly put down some of her little hair scrunchies.
Those Scott, those are two of the die spin Dark Horse dies. I just didn't know if anybody wanted to see them or not.
Oh yeah, no, of course we do. Like
Yeah.
he needs to get on swatching those out. Yeah, you know what it okay, so okay, what you're talking about is when you make that the flip, right? Like where you gotta come up to the point and then turn it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Because the farther away your arc is from the edge, the bigger and the taller and the more of those flaps you're going to have. You know, like we went kind of close to the edge, so we only had like 2 or 3
I
little.
only had 2 and
Yeah,
they were pretty small.
yeah. So
They were really kind of cute.
yeah, so
You had a reduction on yours?
No.
kids.
But no, I from here on till the end of time, like every time I make this shirt and twist it, I'm going to be just personally grossed out. I know it's funny, but like,
Right.
You never have to make one again, Steph, if you don't want
no, no. Well, if this one turns out, I like the pattern, and like I said, if it works the way, like if I get a triangle, like the double triangle, I will definitely do it again, um, for sure. If it doesn't, no, you'll probably never see me make this one ever again at all.
You will.
Well, I mean, we shall see. But yeah, but I mean, I can see that there's room to make this easier for me, and for me that red line, mine was a red line, yours was a black line, I think.
Well,
If I
that's
would
the
have if
whole
I would
reason.
have brought it back a little bit, or if I would have started in the center and at in the
Yeah.
in that underarm line and
Yeah.
worked my pleats backwards,
Yeah.
maybe.
See, that's the whole reason you and I do this, though, so that people can take what we show and make it their own thing. And
Totally.
you're already doing that with this pattern. So that's the whole idea of what we're doing, you know.
Well, yeah.
I
Well,
want to see what people can do with this.
so what did I say the
You know,
last time? What I was saying, everybody needs a tie-dye buddy because you're able to bounce ideas off each other and say, well, what about this or what about that? And try things out and see. Like I think just within the most recent weeks, we're getting better at the fan fold centers. Like they're already,
yeah,
well, I know
absolutely.
my last one already looked better.
Mine
So,
too. Definitely.
and I don't think I would have even paid attention to try to make it better if I wasn't having, a really frank conversation with everyone. So that's why I like doing these live videos, because we're all here, we're asking questions. Um, let's see. Finding the fine tip applicator bottles larger than 4 ounce is crazy. What's the deal? Finding the fine tip. Oh, you mean like the actual bottle size?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't think you are, but I think you can find tips. You can find the bottle, I don't the thing you screw on, like the tip and the applicator that will fit on larger size bottles. So if you needed a fine tip on an 8 ounce bottle, the nozzle things, I have some. I'll have to look and see. Well, let me just go grab them and see. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Okay. Hold on.
Yes, it does look like a mushroom for sure. And I like this little emblem right here. It looks pretty cool too. Little bell shape right here down at the bottom. These colors are really nice looking, like the purple and yellow right here. Look really cool. I love the colors in these on this shirt. Some of this confetti really makes it, I think, because you can tell there's some confetti.
You know what? I think you might be right. I don't think they're so. I have these little setups. I haven't used them because I don't do liquid dye, but I think you're right. I don't think this nozzle is going to fit on. No.
So
So I'll have to
here's
look
what I did
into.
here's one I did on a dress, one of those
Sorry,
cover.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was
No,
still
that's
trying to thought.
it's a tank dress.
I'm gonna step back and be quiet for a second because I am curious about these whole because I feel the same way about you and the nozzle tips.
Now I love the shading at the bottom. It really looks like it's falling in. Like it really looks three-dimensional. It's kind of convex to looking. So same fold, just different garment. You know, double fan fold, just make your triangle instead of your arc.
Yeah, that looks super duper cool.
But yeah, that looks like it was. That looks like Stormy Sky too.
Yeah.
That looks like Strawberry Sky to me.
I think it's Stormy, I believe.
Really?
I think so, yeah. But I
'Cause
love.
I don't ever recall Stormy Sky having orange in it. Maybe did you mix the two together?
No, It even has greens right here with this next to this turquoise.
I don't even
Because I have two of your Pro Chemical Stormy Sky shirts, and none of them have like pink in them. You know what I mean? It's always just a deep burgundy. I mean, I believe you because you know you made it, but that really pretty magenta color with that orange next to the green, I I don't get that when I use Stormy Sky.
Yeah.
It's gorgeous. But see, you guys, if you don't have Stormy Sky from Pro Chemical and Dye, you need to immediately order it. It's one of the best splitting colors ever. Like it's the originator of why we want splitting dyes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
I'm going to start putting any of these live streams that we do. I'm going to start. I made an Etsy account and I have like one shirt on there so far, which is, it's a work.
oh yeah.
It's definitely a work in progress. But these live streams that we do, I'm definitely going to start putting them on Etsy, and people can purchase them if they want.
Yeah. So Scott has an Etsy page and it's called Rad Dyes Tie Dye Company on Etsy. So if you type that in, you should be able to find him. And then we'll get links, in the description box and everything so you can find it. Like you just said, it's new, it's a work in progress, but he's going to start adding, more stuff to it so you guys can buy his tie dye. So make sure that you definitely check that out. And having the link down below will make it easier. I went and found the bottles, and I, for some reason, thought that the tips would be larger and could fit on my 8-ounce bottle from Dharma. They clearly don't. Something tells me, though, with the company that I bought these liquid dye bottles. They're little tiny little 4-ounce ones. And I'd rather have a larger bottle too, so you don't have to stop and refill. But I feel like you could probably get a larger, what would this be called? Like the the lid? I don't know what to call it, but I would think you can get a bigger one than what I have. It just fits my little tiny bottle. But these are really good.
The nozzle.
Well, I mean the nozzle's like I haven't even used them yet because I don't liquid dye. I don't even know. Margot talked me into them because that's what Margot uses.
Yeah.
No, Stephen J. I was asking Stephen J about like, what are those little bottles that you use and all of that. So he hooked me on to the company. And if you really want to know where I got this from, you're going to have to send me a message and I will stop and think about it and I will get you the information. I will forget from here till there. So if you're serious about it, private message me and I will find the link to where I bought these. But these are what the liquid dyers use. You probably will never see me use these because, well, I don't liquid dye and I don't have any desire to do it anytime soon. But yeah, I hear you. Why having such huge nozzles? But if you are going to buy dye bottles because you want a liquid dye, the dye bottles from Dharma Trading Company, they're my favorite. They're the 8-ounce size. There's links down below in the description box, or you can go to like your Sally's Beauty Supply. I mean, that's all they are. It's just a hair dye bottle. I mean, it's just a bottle. Ketchup bottles work, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, those were my first ones were mustard and ketchup.
Yes, so I probably have 100 of those that I need to get rid of. I need to, offer up or whatever, or if somebody wants to like come and take them. I don't want to just throw them away. That feels tremendously wasteful, but I'm never going to use them. I'm also not going to clean them. I mean, they're clean, but you know what I mean? It's like you can have them. Trying to ship them is probably going to cost more than they're even worth. And I have like 100 of them. I just want them to vanish. So if you guys live in Portland, send me a message. I'll give you my old. There's nothing wrong with them. It's just I'm not a liquid dyer. I'm just not going to do it anymore. And when I very first started, I thought that I needed a bottle for every single color of dye. I think a lot of people start out that way, but no, you don't. You do not. All you need is this little 8-ounce bottle from Dharma Trading Company. You make a couple of shirts, you rinse it out, and then change your colors and mix some more. You do not need a new bottle for every color because you'd have like 700 dye
Oh,
dye bottles.
man, are they not making these tanks anymore, or what?
What?
These tank presses,
I haven't seen
these tank cover-up presses, these live.
I don't know. I haven't been on there. Really? Are there? Or you can't get them?
Yeah,
I haven't been able to find them.
or yeah, this are
Uh-oh.
lats. It's tank, but yeah, I don't know if they're even making them. But Kelly says she can't find them.
We got them last year through Jiffy, and I haven't seen them this year, or maybe it was the year before.
No, I mean it was recently because I bought 2 in each size. Would you like? I don't know. Well, it's been a while since we've talked. Like back around the glitch time, so I mean it hasn't been that long. I was able to get them
Back on because I haven't looked for a while because I got tired of looking. I go back and look, and they didn't have them.
Well, I mean if they're out, they're out. They'll probably make. I mean they will probably make more. And if you put like I know on jiffyshirts.com you can say like click on it, notify me when they're back in stock, and they'll send you an email because they want your business. So go on there. I mean, you're not able to find them even to look at, period. Like, oh, huh. Well, that sucks because they're super cute.
Yeah.
I mean, I have mine are rainbow. Uh, well, maybe they're not the same. I have something very similar to that on my Etsy, and they're cute. I mean, they're like a cute little tank top dress. They're for for young, cute little bodies. And they're like such a great little summertime tie-dye dress. So I hope they make them again because they're adorable. So that just tells me if they do come back, you need to buy a few like
Yeah.
extras.
Right. Yeah.
Let's see. I fill an 8-ounce bottle and then I use, yeah, exactly. So, right. I will fill up my bigger bottle with liquid dye. Like, I'm going to talk about liquid dye like I know what I'm talking about. But no, I will fill up my larger bottle. And then if I'm going to do precision work, like with my little 4-ounce bottles, I'll use it to fill those up. But I mean, it's all just so liquid dyeing is just majorly time consuming. So I have to mix the dye, fill up this dye bottle, then to just keep pouring it into the other dye bottle and make it's like who wants to do that? For those of you that love liquid dyeing, more power to you. I'm just not one of them, you guys. No way.
Yeah.
All right, we've been doing this for a while now. Let's see, it's almost 7 o'clock here, so
Been chatting. We've just been chatting for the last.
yeah, no. Well, I could talk about tie dye until tomorrow. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
I love it.
they can try
Um,
time they want, I guess. You know.
I love it.
Yeah.
So, thank you very much for teaching us how to make this new pattern.
Yeah. Sorry about.
There's nothing to apologize about. I
You
mean,
know, we got halfway through and then was like, oh, no, I guess you don't want to do it that way. And then started over again. So
there's
I
nothing wrong with
apologize.
that.
It's just been a while since I've done it. And
It's totally fine.
not to take your pleat all the way across the sleeve, you know,
Yeah.
Rick.
Well, I mean, we'll see. First, we have to see how it turns out before we can say, I mean, really, right? I mean,
No
this
matter what, it's going to be a mirror image and it's going to look pretty cool.
it's going to be cool no matter what. But before we
Yeah.
say whether we should have or shouldn't, we should just see what mine's even going to look like. I'm sure yours is going to look like it always does. Mine could just be like a big blob of color.
Mine probably
You know.
is hard to say. But I don't think any of them are going to look bad. You know what I mean?
Well, I do look forward to seeing everybody's work. For if any of you are still here, because I know we've just been chatting. Don't forget that we have a Facebook group. It's Belladonna Dye's community tie-dye group. You just need to go on there and answer the questions or click agree or whatever, and then you get accepted in. If you don't say that you agree, we will decline you. It's just, I think it's really simple. Just pay attention, read the rules, whatever. And then I look forward, and I know Scott and Kelly do as well, to seeing what you do,
Yeah.
because I want to see what color did you choose and how did your pattern turn out, and stuff like that. So don't forget that that's available, and it's a learning group. It's a very patient and kind group. A lot of amazing people are in the group. um, I think it's a great teaching tool. It definitely gives more teaching than what I'm able to do and what Scott and Kelly are able to do. It's more of a resource. So definitely go and check that out for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I think we should wrap it up. I
Yeah.
think I think we've had a good session. I really appreciate you taking me through this.
It is crazy, huh?
No, it was at first, but I saw it
Yeah.
like after the third attempt, I was like, okay, I get where we're going with this.
Yeah.
And my water is looking like a really beautiful root beer plum, so I'm excited about that.
Yeah.
It's always fun to use colors that I don't use. I usually just use purple and green. That's all I do. And so this is going to be fun to see if I can get some oranges and some blues, and so.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thank you, Kelly. I'm glad that you were able to hang out. You normally can't hang out with us.
Been a while.
It's been like months. So, thanks for hanging out and having fun with us and all that good jazz. And so, we'll figure it out. I know that I'm definitely going to attempt to be better about making a reveal video. And so, whatever happens from here to when it's finished, to try to share where we're gonna go.
Yeah.
So Scott, maybe snap some photos or
I
just
will.
try to just document a little bit, at least via a picture. So
Sure.
like maybe when your ice is melted, just kind of take a photo.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'll try to remember to do the same thing.
I'll take one now whenever we're done too.
Okay. I like that.
The
All right,
colors.
guys. Listen, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in and hanging out. If any of you are still there, and thanks for the patience with the technical difficulties. And I've got to figure out how to turn my phone off, and I don't even know. It's a learning curve. We'll see.
That's right.
All right, guys. Good night.
Okay. Well, thanks, Steph. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott, for teaching us how to make your signature pattern here. So,
Okay.
all right. Good night, all. Be
All
well.
right. Good night.